Maritime Administration sends home all unvaccinated staff. DPP yet to receive file for Region 9 REO shooting. Burned out Albertown building was in breach of building code. And why our cash-only economy is making you broke. I am Noriko Bulford, and welcome to tonight's edition of Uncut News. The government is continuing its clampdown on those who have not taken a Rona vaccine. This morning, the Maritime Administration Department sent home several staff members who have yet to be vaccinated. They were sent home without pay and told not to return until they get the shot. This morning, they were informed of the department's new requirement. They were not given the option of regular testing, but were told directly that they must stay home until they are vaccinated. The Director General told managers that his decision is based on the government's gazetted order, which bans unvaccinated people from visiting a government building without an appointment. However, the order does not make it mandatory for staff members to be vaccinated in order to be at work. When Gordon Mosley reached out to the Department Director General, Stephen Thomas, he said that he is just following the government order, and the agency's website has more information on this decision. Well, I checked the website and even their Facebook for myself, and there was no mention about the new requirement for staff members. I mean, come on, man. If you're going to lie, at least make it hard to verify. Just over a dozen civic groups have come together to demand a systematic, inclusive, and transparent consultation process on energy options available to Guyana. The call was made in response to the announcement of plans for the construction of a natural gas pipeline at Wales and other multi-million-dollar infrastructure projects. The groups say the proposed gas pipeline is unjustifiable in terms of Guyana's energy needs. Justification for the pipeline, therefore, has to rely on providing energy to a range of new industrial projects, which as yet have not been identified by the government, much less justified. According to them, in the absence of such projects, constructing a gas pipeline is the equivalent to building the runway before determining whether an airport is even feasible. Yesterday, the chambers of the Director of Public Prosecutions said that as of Friday, July the 30th, it had not received the police file in relation to the shooting of 25-year-old Gladys Benedict by Region 9 Regional Executive Officer Carl Singh. According to Starbrook News, Police Commander of Region 9 Raphael Rose had said that the file was sent to the DPP for legal advice. When they contacted him again yesterday, Rose said that the case file had in fact been sent to Georgetown, but because of our slow and inefficient system that there is usually a channel which the file passes through before it actually reaches the DPP's office. The inefficient part was my words, not his. Recently, an apartment fire in Albertown, Georgetown, claimed the lives of 2 women. While the fire is still under investigation, Fire Chief Kalmadine Edo did note that the building was in breach of several aspects of the building code. The fire chief added that a report will be prepared and submitted to the relevant agencies. The recommendations will determine what actions will be taken against the owner. We'll keep you updated on this story as more details arise. Are you one of the chosen few that benefits from duty-free? If yes, then check out these amazing vehicles that just arrived at Best Buy Auto Sales. This 2016 Toyota Harrier Grand Sport Edition, this 2014 Range Rover Evoque, and this 2016 Lexus RX 200T are all on sale. They are all fully loaded and come with all modern features. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Bitter Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them the Rico sent you for this sweet deal. The police are currently looking for 2 known characters who are accused of having gunned down 21-year-old mechanic Jalil Liao and injured his friend in the shooting. According to the police last evening, Liao was in the company of 3 others when the 2 gunmen approached and threatened a woman in the group. Before they could re-enter their front gate, one of the men pulled out a handgun and shot Liao multiple times in the back. A friend of the mechanic was also grazed by bullets during the attack. The victims were taken to the hospital where Liao was pronounced dead on arrival while his friend was treated and discharged. The 2 suspects are still on the run. A policeman is among 2 men who died on Sunday following an accident at Erie Hall Public Road on the Essequibo coast. 23-year-old officer Ramesh Das and 22-year-old Abdul Shamain were both riding on a motorcycle when they collided with a motor car driven by 30-year-old Mahendra Raj of the Esquito Coast. The injured men were taken to the hospital where they were pronounced dead on arrival. Raj is currently in police custody. Over in Linden, 23-year-old Stephen Major and a group of his friends were at the creek on Monday when tragedy struck. Major reportedly drowned while swimming. The incident happened at Indigenous Town Creek. Yes, I know the real name of the place, but it's racist, so I'm not saying it. Once in the creek, Major dived in and his motionless body reportedly resurfaced several minutes later, a short distance away. He was pulled from the creek and was taken to the Linden Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. There were no visible marks of violence on his body, but the case is still under investigation. Don't miss the grand 50% off sale and get a free 1-month Digicel Prime bundle plan. Available at City Mall, Starbucks Square, Regent and Light Street, Massey Turkine, and Massey Providence. Shop early, limited stocks available. It's now time for today's Rona Report. Today, the nation recorded 24 new cases. There are now 549 persons dead, 12 persons in the ICU, 648 persons in home isolation. And the total number of confirmed cases around the nation now stands at 22,643. So, please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds, and remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. 2 jerks decided to celebrate Emancipation Day by robbing a set of women at a hair salon. 2 of the women were stylists at the salon, and the other presumably a customer. The 3 women were at the Simone's Beauty Salon on Durban Street when 2 armed men entered the building, demanding everything of value. The men stole the women's jewelry and cell phones. They then left the premises, and no one was injured. Have a business and need access to more goon loopholes? Register it on one of the fastest-growing business directories in Guyana. Sign up for free on snap.gy and get your business listed today. And yes, you've heard me right, it's absolutely free. Get listed today on snap.gy. And now for our stupid news of the day. You know what I think is stupid? This cash-based economy we currently have. We live in the 21st century, but our economy is definitely stuck in the 1990s. The cash-only system makes doing business slow, inefficient, and it keeps you broke. How does it keep you broke? Well, there's a concept in economics called the velocity of money. This is basically a measurement of the rate at which money is exchanged for goods and services within an economy. A healthy economy typically has a high velocity, many dollars changing many hands over a short amount of time. However, certain external factors can slow this velocity. Factors such as limited availability of credit, limited trade volume, uncertain business and overall economic conditions, the frequency or lack thereof of transactions, the regularity or irregularity of pay, and of course, the forms of payment, whether it's physical or digital, obviously. And anyone living in Guyana currently will tell you that we have always suffered from all of the aforementioned issues. If the banking system was updated to allow the creation of electronic payment platforms, then many of these issues will disappear. A farmer in Berbice would be able to sell to a miner in Mazaruni because paying for the goods will be as simple as downloading an app. In fact, because of the internet, that same farmer will then be able to sell to Suriname and get paid by Cash App instead of a bundle of cash through the buck truck. However, I have to admit that everything I said is speculation, based on observation. And can you guess why I'm speculating and not speaking from fact? Well, it's because the Bank of Guyana, in its infinite wisdom, doesn't even publish such records about the velocity of money in our economy. And if you ask me, that is pretty stupid. You there, Mr. Truck Owner. A great place to get high-quality truck parts and engine spares for low prices is Powered Automotive. They stock parts for DAF, Freightliner, Mack, International, and all models of Cummins engines. Visit them at Lot 1161 EE Eccles or call them on 697-0171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Real thing. Moving on to our Uncut News Views Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in the nation, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So you give your responses in the comments and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, how do you feel about the government and the opposition's performance over the past year? King Tut said, the government nor opposition has done anything that warrants a performance rating. But if we can include stupidity, then it's a 10, and a tie between the donkey and the mule. Aha! If there's anything Guyanese have, it's jokes. I like that, King Tut. Jay Jairam said, the government is making valuable progress in taking Guyana forward. They are not perfect, but have done way better in 1 year than what the previous government did in 5 years. Guyana is breathing again. Well, I guess that's one opinion. And Andy Anderson says, the opposition's past performance has made the current government look like a saint. Though they both do the same thing in a different way, it's the voice of the people that determines the judgment of both parties over the past year. And thus far, the people seem to be pleased with the progress of the current government, which has resulted in their current praise. Terence Rahim said, the government and the opposition is a waste of time. We need people with modern ideas. And finally, Jermaine Charles said, I have lost confidence and hope in both the government and the opposition because both of them behave immaturely and neither wants to work in the best interests of the citizens. They allow their personal conflicts to affect the whole nation, and I believe all the politicians should resign and make way for new blood with new and constructive ideas for a better Guyana. Unite both, Jermaine, unite both. So for tonight's question, what is the biggest issue that is vexing you in Guyana today? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bulford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.